Hello, and welcome back to English Comfortably. I'm Natasha, your host and guide on this journey to better English. If you're new here, I'm so happy you found us. On this channel, we upload daily English learning videos to help you improve your English faster and more naturally. In today's lesson, we will learn 50 useful English phrases for daily conversations. Why is this important? Because using common phrases helps you sound more natural. When speaking with native speakers, these are the kinds of phrases people use every day, in cafes, at work, with friends, or while shopping. By learning them, you will feel more confident and fluent in your daily speaking situations. In this video, you'll hear real-life examples and have the chance to practice with me. By the end, you'll be able to use these phrases naturally in your conversations. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to English Comfortably and click the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson. We post helpful videos like this every single day, and I'd love for you to join us. Now, grab your pen and notebook if you'd like to take notes. Let's get started with our first group of phrases. First, let's talk about greetings and introductions. How do we start a conversation? We greet people. One very common casual greeting is, "Hi, how's it going?" This means, "Hi, how are you?" but sounds more relaxed. You can say this to friends, classmates, or coworkers. For example, you might say, "Hi, how's it going?" and your friend might reply, "Good, thanks. How about you?" When you meet someone for the first time, it is polite to say, "Nice to meet you." For example, if someone says, "Hi, I'm Emily," you can respond, "Nice to meet you, Emily. I'm John." When you see someone again after some time, you can ask, "How have you been?" This shows that you care about the other person's life. For example, "Hey Sarah, how have you been?" Sarah might reply, "Pretty good. And you?" If you haven't seen someone for a long time, a friendly and informal greeting is, "Long time no see." For example, "Wow, Mark. Long time no see." Mark might answer, "Yeah, it's been ages." To ask about someone's recent news or updates, you can say, "What's new?" For example, "Hi Anna, what's new?" And Anna might say, "Not much, just busy with work." Here's a tip for practice. Next time you greet someone, try saying, "Hi, how's it going?" If you meet an old friend, try saying, "Long time no see." The more you practice these phrases, the more natural they will feel. Now, let's move on to making small talk. Small talk is friendly, casual conversation that helps you connect with people. A very easy way to start small talk is by talking about the weather. You can say, "Lovely weather today, isn't it?" For example, "Lovely weather today, isn't it?" And the other person might reply, "Yes, so sunny and warm." If you know the person likes sports, you can ask, "Did you catch the game last night?" For example, "Did you catch the game last night?" And the person might say, "I did. It was so exciting." When you are in a new place like a cafe, a party, or an event, you can start a conversation by asking, "Have you been to this place before?" For example, "Hi, have you been to this cafe before?" And someone might reply, "No, this is my first time. How about you?" When someone shares something interesting, show that you are listening by saying, "That's interesting. Tell me more." For example, if someone says, "I just started learning Spanish," you can respond, "That's interesting. Tell me more." When you agree with someone, you can say, "I totally agree." For example, "I think this movie is amazing," and you can reply, "I totally agree. The story is great." Here's a practice tip. Next time you chat with someone, try saying, "That's interesting. Tell me more," or "I totally agree." These phrases will help your conversations flow naturally. Sometimes, we need help or information. It's important to know polite ways to ask. If you need help, you can say, "Could you help me with this?" For example, "Excuse me, could you help me with this form?" And the other person might say, "Of course." If you need directions, you can ask, "Where can I find the nearest bus stop?" For example, "Where can I find the nearest bus stop?" And someone might answer, "It's just around the corner." If you want to know the time, you can ask, Do you know what time it is? For example, do you know what time it is? And someone might reply, sure, it's 3:15. If you didn't understand something, you can say politely, could you please repeat that? For example, sorry, could you please repeat that? And the other person might respond, sure, no problem. If someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer, you can say, I'm not sure. Let me check. For example, do you know if the store is open today? You can say, I'm not sure. Let me check. Here's a practice tip. If you don't understand something, say, could you please repeat that? It is polite and very helpful. Now, let's learn how to express thanks and gratitude. It's always nice to say thank you in English. The most common way is, thank you so much. You can use this phrase in any situation. For example, thank you so much for your help, and the other person will say, you're welcome. If you want to show even stronger gratitude, you can say, I really appreciate it. For example, thanks for fixing my computer. I really appreciate it. And the other person might reply, no problem. You can also say, that's very kind of you, to thank someone politely. For example, if someone brings you some tea, you can say, that's very kind of you. Thank you. A more informal way to say thanks is, I owe you one. This means you will return the favor in the future. For example, thanks for the ride. I owe you one. And the other person might say, anytime. When someone thanks you, you can reply casually by saying, no worries. For example, thanks for your help, and you can respond, no worries. Here's a tip for practice. When someone helps you, try saying, I really appreciate it, or, that's very kind of you. It will make people feel appreciated and happy. Let's take a moment to review everything we've learned today. In this lesson, we talked about how to greet people naturally. You can say, hi, how's it going? Or long time no see. Or ask, what's new? We also learned how to make small talk. You can talk about the weather or ask about a game, or start a conversation in a new place. Phrases like, that's interesting. Tell me more, and I totally agree, will help your conversations sound friendly. We also covered polite ways to ask for help and information. You can ask for help by saying, could you help me with this? You can ask for directions, ask for the time, or ask someone to repeat something. If you don't know an answer, you can say, I'm not sure. Let me check. Finally, we talked about expressing thanks and gratitude. You can say, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Or that's very kind of you. And you can respond to thanks with no worries. Here is a challenge for you. This week, try using at least 5 of the phrases from today's lesson. Greet someone new with, hi, how's it going? Make small talk by saying, lovely. Weather today, isn't it? If you need help, ask, could you help me with this? And when someone helps you, say, I really appreciate it. The more you practice these phrases, the more natural they will feel. You will sound friendly and confident in English. That's it for today's lesson. Now you know how to greet people, make small talk, ask for help politely, and express gratitude in English. Keep practicing. Use these phrases every day. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. See you in the next video. Bye for now. Sharing your opinion is an important part of speaking English. It helps you express your thoughts and feelings, and also shows that you're engaged in the conversation. In this section, we will learn useful phrases to give your opinion politely and naturally. When you want to support or encourage someone's suggestion, you can say, I think it's a great idea. For example, if someone says, let's start the project next week, you can reply, I think it's a great idea. If you want to politely share your view on something, use the phrase, in my opinion. For example, someone might ask, what do you think about the new movie? You can reply, in my opinion, it was very entertaining. There may be times when you don't fully agree with someone but want to remain polite. In those moments, you can say, I'm not so sure about that. For instance, if someone says, I think we should skip the meeting, you could reply, I'm not so sure about that. we might miss important updates. When you understand and agree with someone's reasoning, you can say, that makes sense. For example, if someone suggests buying groceries today because the store closes early tomorrow, you can respond, that makes sense. If you want to show that you are open to someone's idea but still thinking about it, you can say, you might be right. For instance, if someone says, it could rain tomorrow, you might respond, you might be right. I'll take an umbrella. Now it's your turn to practice. Try using the sentence starter. In my opinion, for example, you could say, in my opinion, learning English through conversation is very helpful. You can practice this phrase every day by sharing your opinion on different topics, such as food, movies, hobbies, or daily news. In daily life, we often talk about small things, food, errands, plans, and routines. Knowing how to use simple English phrases in these situations will help you sound more natural and fluent. When you want to know what meal is being prepared, you can ask, what's for dinner? For example, you might ask, what's for dinner? And the response could be, we're having pasta tonight. If you want to suggest meeting someone casually, you can say, let's grab a coffee sometime. For instance, if you see an old friend, you might say, it's been a while since we talked. They could reply, yes, let's grab a coffee sometime. When you have small tasks to do, like shopping or visiting the post office, you can say, I need to run some errands. For example, I can't join the call right now. I need to run some errands. If you need to excuse yourself for a short time, you can say, I'll be right back. For example, I'm going to the restroom. I'll be right back. At the end of a workday or an activity, you can say, let's call it a day. For instance, we finished the main tasks. Let's call it a day. You can practice ending your workday by saying, let's call it a day. You can also try using other phrases in your daily routine. For example, you might say, I need to run some errands after lunch, or I'll be right back, just going to grab some water. Making plans with friends, family, or coworkers is a great opportunity to practice conversation skills. These simple phrases help you sound friendly and organized. When you want to start a conversation about making plans, you can ask, are you free this weekend? For example, are you free this weekend? The reply might be, yes, I don't have any plans. To propose a day for your plan, you can say, how about Friday? For example, when should we meet? You could reply, how about Friday? When confirming the time of a meeting, you can say, let's meet at 3 p.m. For instance, let's meet at 3 p.m. at the cafe. If you're unsure whether you are free, you can say, I'll check my schedule. For example, can you join us for lunch tomorrow? You might reply, I'll check my schedule and let you know. When you are excited about future plans, you can end the conversation by saying, looking forward to it. For example, great, we'll meet on Friday. Looking forward to it. When making plans, you can practice by saying, looking forward to it. You might also try this short dialogue with a friend. Are you free this weekend? How about Saturday afternoon? Let's meet at the park at 2 p.m. Looking forward to it. Everyone makes mistakes sometimes. Knowing how to apologize and respond politely is an important social skill. These phrases will help you stay kind and respectful in conversations. A polite and simple way to say sorry is, I'm sorry about that. For example, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you. If you want to show that your action was not on purpose, you can say, I didn't mean to. For example, I didn't mean to send the wrong file. When you want to respond to someone's apology in a friendly and relaxed way, you can say, no problem. For instance, if someone says, I'm sorry I'm late, you can reply, no problem. Another way to tell someone it's okay is, don't worry about it. For example, if someone says, sorry I spilled some coffee, you can say, don't worry about it. When you want to assure someone that you'll avoid the mistake in the future, you can say, it won't happen again. For instance, I'm sorry I forgot the meeting. It won't happen again. You can practice apologizing by saying, I'm sorry about that, and also practice responding with phrases like, no problem, or don't worry about it. Sharing how you feel helps build stronger connections with others. Use these phrases to express happiness, excitement, or your mood. When someone tells you exciting news, you can say, that sounds amazing. For example, if someone says, I just got a new job, you can reply, that sounds amazing. If you want to celebrate someone else's success, you can say, I'm so happy for you. For instance, if someone says, we're getting married next year, you can say, I'm so happy for you. When you want to tell someone that you are not feeling 100%, you can say, I'm a bit tired today. For example, I didn't sleep well. I'm a bit tired today. If you want to share your excitement about upcoming events, you can say, I'm looking forward to the weekend. For instance, it's been a busy week. I'm looking forward to the weekend. To tell someone that their action or words cheered you up, you can say, that really made my day. For example, thanks for the flowers. That really made my day. After hearing good news, you can practice by saying, that sounds amazing. You can also share your feelings today by saying, I'm a bit tired today, or I'm looking forward to the weekend. Ending a conversation politely leaves a good impression. You can use these phrases to say goodbye naturally. When you want to wish someone well, you can say, take care. For example, take care, and see you next week. If you plan to meet again soon, you can say, see you soon. For example, see you soon. At the meeting, a fun and friendly way to say goodbye is, catch you later. For instance, I have to go now. Catch you later. After spending time with someone, you can say, it was great seeing you. For example, it was great seeing you at the event. In many situations, you can say, have a good one. For example, I'm heading out. Have a good one. Next time you leave, try saying, take care, or have a good one. You can also combine phrases such as, it was great seeing you. Take care. Great job today. You've learned many useful phrases to sound more natural in English. Conversations. To review, you practice how to share opinions politely, talk about daily activities, make plans with friends, apologize and respond kindly, express your feelings, and say goodbye naturally. Here is a tip. Try using at least 3 of these phrases today when you talk to friends, family, or co-workers. The more you practice, the more natural you will sound. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and learned something new. Keep practicing these phrases in your daily conversations. The more you use them, the more natural they will feel. And remember, every small step helps you become a more confident English speaker. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.